All right, what's up, guys? So I got a video request from Joe Lemstra. Wants me to talk about overthinking, basically overthinking about life and all kinds of stuff. And I talked about overthinking on my old channel, and I guess we'll talk about it again. I was thinking about doing it on my own, but it's cool that someone mentioned it on one of my live streams. Yeah, I overthink a lot myself. It gets to the point where I get too overwhelmed and I get so stressed out, especially when I'm really angry or just very isolated. All I think about is the past and my future constantly. Like, what am I going to do with my life? How am I going to get out of this shitty job I'm in? Or how am I going to increase my income? Where am I going to move to? Or things like that. Or I'll say, like, I'll constantly dwell about my past, like me being abused by my mom and my dad just yelling and screaming at me, or um, like bad memories in school, like kids bullying me and being in special ed. Uh, I guess dwelling with bad decisions from the past, like I made some bad decisions to the point where it affects my life today, um, and things like that, and I'll overthink that too much. And since I have autism, it kind of makes me overanalyze every situation, right? Like, I'll overthink about how people are talking to me at times, and making sure that I'm not revealing my autism to these people, because um, they can pick up on that and they can make fun of me. And I try to be like a neurotypical and mask, so it protects myself. And then I'll just like overanalyze and overthink on how they socialize, and then you just get kind of antsy and just feel weird. Uh, yeah, overthinking sucks because it makes you indecisive and in trying to make life decisions. Like, should I get a better job, or should I move out of my parents at this time, or should I go back to school, or uh, should I get rid of these friends because they're toxic to me, or um, things like that. Like, big life decisions can suck for people that overthink a lot. I know I get like that, especially with life decisions, and I get very indecisive. I was like that when I was homeless. I was very indecisive for the first 2 weeks, and it was just unbelievable because I was going to help my dad with his landscape business, and I was ready to buy a truck, but everything happened so fast. How I went homeless, and my life is going to turn a different direction, and I had to figure out where to live and what to do next. It was very hard. And yeah, it's still hard for me now because I'm trying to move out of here in 4.5 months. So trying to figure out like what to do next with my life and things like that. I could really overthink it a lot. I've been feeling like this a lot living here because I've been isolated for so long. So, like, if you're overthinking and you're alone and isolated a lot, you'll just dwell on your thoughts all day. That's all it'll be. And like, it could be from like I said before, like bullying in the past, like cyberbullying, or just childhood trauma, just bad decisions, like I said. It just sucks, and that's why I guess for myself, like, I have to take anxiety meds so I can calm down and I don't feel the need to overthink all the time, because it just worries me constantly. I'll say it's not your fault that you overthink a lot because you're not choosing to feel overwhelmed and um, allowing these racing thoughts to take over you. You know what I mean? It's just something that happened in your past, like your living environment, or maybe it could be genetics, right? To where you are more prone to overthink compared to other people, and it's hard to deal with a lot of times. It feels shitty when you feel hopeless and you feel very defeated, and it's hard to make a decision on things. And if you have people holding you back, you have people that want to see your downfall all the time, they try to lower your self-esteem and they make you feel insecure, then you'll stem to overthinking a lot, and it can be hard to build up your confidence and try to do something. It sucks. Um, yeah, it's terrible. Sometimes when I get stressed out and I overthink too much, I gotta smoke a cigarette outside, you know? Or like I go to the gym or I just go for a walk or if it gets to that point, I have to fucking sleep it off. Sucks. And we all tend to overthink, right? But some people have more like generalized anxiety than others and it affects their life. And it can make them feel worse. And um, I guess the ways to try to cope and try to alleviate that too much overthinking. I guess you just try to focus on something that you like to do. You do things that you like doing, and you distract yourself, and that overthinking will go away. And you try to not make yourself isolated too much, because if you isolate too much, you start to overthink and you start getting trapped in your thoughts. I feel like trying to not be so isolated can help with that. Um, and this shit's not easy to deal with. Seriously, I still deal with this. I get very isolated in a place I don't even know, and I overthink a shit ton, like more than ever. And I've been overthinking a lot over the years too, but yeah, it's not easy, and hopefully it doesn't affect your life, man. Hopefully you're able to decide on big things to see if it can improve your situation or things like that. Catch you guys later.